It's never good when I'm back making a YouTube video. Or it could be. We'll see. I don't know what I'm doing. This year, it's been a year since I made a video. And I was like, I'm gonna be doing my thrifting videos, I'm gonna be doing all that. Right. Have we met me? I mean, I've still been thrifting. I, run my business. I'm working 2 full-time jobs. But right now, life is pretty crazy. I'm kind of lost. I usually write when I'm lost. But today I felt like, you know what, I'm just going to tell the world that I'm lost. And maybe try and find some answers. This year so far has been one of the best years. And one of the worst years of my life. I don't know necessarily how to feel about that, because it just does this. It's just up and down, up and down. It's like it'd be like a year from now, a year ago from today, almost, in less than a week, my best friend passed away. She died, and I'm still trying to come to terms with it, because we kind of lost touch. But at the same time, I never stopped caring about her, and I never stopped loving her. And that kind of took a weird toll on me as a person. And then the day of her funeral, I went into work, and I had my funeral clothes just because I didn't want them to get, wrinkled in the car. And so I can change and go to the funeral. And as I walk into work, my boss is standing there crying, because my other morning cook just passed away the day of her funeral. The guy that I've been working side by side with for almost 3 years passed away. That's been weird. Trying to adapt to life, without him at work. And, trying to adapt to life outside of work without her. Even though we haven't talked, and we can't now. But, I still love her. I'll never stop loving her. I got her tattooed on my arm. That's how much she meant to me. And that's just, the tip of the iceberg there. Back in December, I just kind of felt overnight the shift change. This mood change. Where I was just not sad anymore. I was just, happy. But then at the same time, back in December, I started getting these severe headaches and muscle weakness and just tingling and numb and slurred speech and memory problems and all this stuff. It was just really weird because it all happened overnight. Since December to today, I have not stopped having a headache. A constant bearing headache for almost a little over 5 months now. And so back in December, I'm like, this is too painful. I would have to wear sunglasses indoors in the dark because it was still too bright out. I'd wear sunglasses at work, sunglasses outside, at nighttime. It was just it was a lot. Physically, mentally, a lot. I then went to the doctor, as one does when something's wrong. They're like, well, with your family history, with everything going on, with your symptoms and everything, let's get an MRI. And so a couple weeks later, I go in for my MRI. And then a couple days after I got the MRI, I got results back. And they believed that I had a cerebral cavernoma, which is different than cancer, but it's still a growth on your brain, but it's not cancer. Obviously, as one does when you get a diagnosis and you really don't know what the hell it is, you Google it, you WebMD it. And so what I looked up was cerebral cavernoma, because that's what I was diagnosed with. I have a cerebral cavernoma on my brain, in my frontal lobe, the size of about a pea, that is just a giant group of enlarged blood vessels that is just bleeding, okay? We catching up with my brain's practically bleeding from what I'm reading on the screen. And so I got referred to a neurologist, and the neurologist sent me to neurosurgery to think about having brain surgery. on this little thing that's causing me so much pain. And I'm like, where the flying F did this come from? That wasn't on my 2025 bingo card. So ever since December, I have been in and out of doctors, in and out of specialists, getting blood drawn. I'm literally a fucking lab rat. I go to the neurosurgeon in Chicago, like the head honcho, like the guy, him. And I had to get another MRI. This will be now my third MRI that I got for the same problem. He basically just said, yeah, you have a cerebral carcinoma and a DVA. I'm a cook at B-dubs. I'm not a damn doctor. I don't know what all these acronyms mean. Something where my vein in my brain is doubled in size. The blood flow. Cavernoma is next to the vein, so if the cavernoma grows and breaks, it bleed into that vein. I'd have a stroke, an aneurysm, hemorrhaging, and I'd die. Just like the year is getting so much better. We don't need to operate right now. We're going to keep watch on it, but you will have to get an MRI every year for the rest of your life. All right. We leave there with kind of less answers than we were hoping for. I then got referred back to another neurologist who I went to today, actually. And it has been the longest process of anything, anytime, anywhere right now. It can't go away, but it can grow. Love that. I go to the neurologist today, and basically he just tells me that I have to change my entire lifestyle. I don't drink, I don't smoke tobacco, I vape. Sorry, I'm cool. My bad. Sorry for being really popular. Just kidding, but he said I can't vape anymore, and his exact word was, "You vape like a fiend." And I said, please, send me the bill. I like you. You tell it to me straight. I like that. Getting more answers, less answers, trying to navigate. I feel a little more confident on what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm now on about 7 pills to help with everything. They're like, you're not getting treated for this. Why did they stop treatment on this? Why are you not doing this? You should go back to this. You need to start doing this. I'm like, where the hell have you been my entire life, my guy? Because the doctor that I usually go to straight up said, nah, you don't need that anymore. Your levels are fine. And this full-ass neurologist said, that's not how medicine works. So basically, this year has just been fucking crazy. And I'm just trying to navigate life, but at the same time, I'm okay. I've never felt better in my life. What does this mean? I've never felt this way. I've never felt joy. I've never felt happiness. I've never felt content. But for the first time, after all this, after everything that I've been through, I feel fine. I was like, obviously there's something wrong, which is why I went to the doctor. Because one day I said, I don't feel sad anymore. That's a problem. Who the hell thinks like that? I do, apparently. That's kind of where I'm at on a life update. I have an uneven tan. Literally, I've been in and out of the doctor for the past 5 months. Now I'm going to be going on 6 and 7. My schedule is strictly doctor's appointments for something that we don't know what the hell is happening. But that was the thing. They're like, this cavernoma isn't causing your headaches. It isn't causing your numbness. It's not causing blah, 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 blah. And I said, so what the hell is? And they said, we don't know. Yeah, we're still in the dark. I mean, bills are fucking insane. Love the ass insurance that I get from work to cover actually jack shit. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm not okay, but at the same time, I've never been better. I've never felt better in my life. And I thought I'd come on to say, like, through the worst of times, you're still gonna be okay. You're still gonna come out on the other side. And I've never felt like that throughout my entire life. But somehow, some way, I did. And I'm content. And I'm happy. And I've accepted everything. And then that's kind of when things start going your way. When you can accept the things that you can't control. And you just persevere through everything. And make sure that you see through the other side. Bro, did I just drop some wisdom on everybody? God damn. God damn. I'm sorry that this video is random. I never do things like this anymore. And also, by the way, I'm not asking for anybody's help. I hate asking for help or support, but there's a GoFundMe down below to help me. If you can just share the link, that's more than I could ever ask for. Because this shit is still not over. I still have to get another CT scan. In a few weeks. Have follow-up appointments, another MRI. Come on. Stop playing. Anyways, I'll see you when I see you. Boop.